Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and in today's video we're going to have a look at the latest from the live radar. Then we'll go through the UK Met Office run, have a look at the precipitation and temperature over the next 5 days, as it is looking like we still have precipitation and a bit of unsettled conditions further northwards and westwards, further south and eastwards, not completely dry and settled, but warmer and more sunshine around, with temperatures getting into the high teens, low 20s. Beyond that, as we head towards the end of this coming working week into next weekend, that's when we start to see this big high pressure that we've been talking about for a good few days now, if not about a week now. This big high pressure system coming up from the south, bringing very warm conditions, if not potentially very hot as well, getting towards the high 20s, maybe even 30 degrees, as we did allude to in yesterday's video. We've still got very strong consistency for this, so this sort of warmer hot weather is not going away. Yes, it has been slowly pushed back by a few days over the last week or so, but it is still in the model output, and I'm pretty sure we will be seeing it towards the middle of the month. So remember, if you enjoy my videos, make sure to like and subscribe, and remember to follow me on Twitter as well, the link's in the description. So if we do start on the live radar, you can see it is very dry over the course of the UK at the moment. Some cloud around, but quite a bit of sunshine around for many. Further northwards and westwards, there is a bit more cloud coming in, as off the radar, you can't really see it, but there is a weather front just out of the radar range. That is going to be moving in over the course of this evening, and by rush hour tomorrow morning, many areas in northern areas and western areas across Scotland, Northern Ireland, Republic of Ireland, will be seeing some heavy rain come in with weather fronts. So we've got to keep an eye on that. It does fizzle away as it moves south and eastwards, but we are going to see a few days of unsettled weather toward the start of this coming working week before, as I said, towards the weekend, it starts to settle down and become much warmer, if not hotter. Now, if we do have a look at the temperatures today, as I'm recording this, around 4 p.m, so it is sort of the peak of the day. You can see widely high teens, low 20s, quite a lot of yellow and oranges on the chart, and it's quite widespread. Recently, we have seen it very much in the south, across southwest England, into East Anglia, the southeast of England, but today we are seeing it very, very widespread. Now, we do have a little bit of a chilly northeasterly breeze, just slightly coming, a bit of a sea breeze there, and you can see slightly cooler towards the coast, and these sort of microclimate conditions we do see this time of year, that can bring those temperatures down by a couple of degrees. So you can see right towards the coast, a little bit cooler, but you come inland anywhere, and it's getting warm, towards 20, if not low 20s, quite widely, as I said, all the way into northern England and Scotland, seeing even towards northern Scotland, seeing this very warm conditions, and the whole Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland looking very warm indeed. So it's quite a widespread warm day. No real hot conditions, not getting towards mid-20s anywhere, but widespread warmth. A really beautiful Sunday out there with warm, as I said, warm conditions for all. Now, we will be seeing these sort of conditions more over the next week or two, but for the next few days, it does look like it may turn a little bit chillier. Not cold, but a couple of degrees down, especially further northwards and westwards, with more precipitation moving in. So if we do have a detailed look at that precipitation, if we do have a look at the UK Met Office run, so we do run it out to 4 p.m. as I'm recording this, you can see cloud around for some in northwards and westwards, further south and eastwards, less cloud and more sunshine. A few showers popping up there, but we're not seeing that on the radar. But if we do progress through the evening, you see those weather fronts approaching, and by around midnight, they're starting to impact the far west of Scotland. And as I said, by rush hour, 8-9 a.m, heavy rain into parts of Northern Ireland, Republic of Ireland, and western Scotland. Now, through the day, it does spread eastwards, fizzling out a bit, still some heavier pulses within there, and by sort of Monday evening, just quite a lot of thick cloud around with some very heavy rain potentially through Scotland, a little bit of a feature moving through there, so you need to keep an eye on that through Monday evening. And beyond that through Tuesday, just a showery outlook, especially, as I said, further northwards and westwards. Beyond that until Wednesday, still showers around with a general westerly flow, and that continues into Thursday, maybe some heavy rain in the south, but right towards the end of the run, starting to turn a little bit drier in the south as high pressure does start to build in. Again, if we have a look at the pressure charts, you can see low pressure to our northwest, but you can see this high pressure system just to our south and east, and that is slowly edging northwards, and will be taking over our weather as we head through Friday into the weekend. So if you do have a look at those temperatures, you're going to see it's going to be very up and down over the coming few days. Wherever we avoid the precipitation and the thicker cloud, it will get up towards high teens, low 20s. But we see the precipitation cloud more like mid to low teens. So we do see this afternoon widely 17, 18, 19 degrees. Actually, I'd say it's been warmer than that. Having a look at that live temperature, those live temperatures from the Weather Channel a minute ago. So I do think it is much more widespread. More widespread warmth, so I think it's overdone the cloud a little bit, the UKMO Office Run, and any showers further northwards and westwards. So we are definitely seeing warmer than that, more widely, getting towards the low 20s in a few areas. So again, it's one of those things where you have to take these temperatures with a pinch of salt, as they can be a degree or two off, especially when the limiting factor in terms of the temperatures is cloud amounts and shower activity, which we are not seeing a lot of today. Beyond that, as you head through into Monday, you can see warm conditions still across central England into East Anglia, the southeast, even parts of Wales and the southwest. Further northwards and westwards, much cooler, towards mid to low teens. As we head through to Tuesday, you can see again, maybe holding on to those warmer conditions in the far southeast towards East Anglia, but more of these chillier conditions are encroaching with low pressure. And if we continue all the way to Wednesday, once again, holding on to those warmer conditions in the far southeast, but elsewhere mid to low teens. And again through Thursday, those cooler conditions are more widespread with more showers around and that heavier precipitation, maybe only hovering around 10, 11 degrees for some. But, as I said, as we move into Friday, warmer air masses will start to be arriving. If I look at the 850 HPA temperatures, you can see it's not too great on Friday, but just off the chart to our south, you can start to see warmer air pushing up. And you can see at the moment we do have pretty mild air, warm air to our south, but it's transient. It's not sort of under big high pressure system with loads of sunshine. So that's why it's not really making too much of a hit on our temperatures, but it's why it still could get to low 20s later this week when we do see sunshine in the southeast. So if we do now run through the longer range or mid to longer range, look at the GFS, GM and ECMWF. If we do start on the GFS run, you can see high pressure over the top of the country at the moment, and that's why it's so dry. But those weather fronts are going to be pushing through, and low pressure is going to be in control for a few days here. As we head towards Friday, is that high pressure system takes over. So towards Friday, Saturday time, high pressure really taking control, and it's once we get towards Sunday, Monday time, those isobars really start to drag up warm, if not hot air from the south. Now, it still does look like it will be pretty decent on Saturday, Sunday, but real warm, hot air gets dragged up from the south by Sunday, Monday time. Really warm there. But GFS does something interesting, does move that high pressure a little bit further northwards and allows a bit of an easterly flow to come in. So this would turn those temperatures down a little bit chillier, but this is heading towards day 10 and beyond time frames, so it's very uncertain. So it would start to bring a bit of a chilly easterly flow, still be very dry and warm, but would mean any of those mid to high 20s come off the cards, and it would be more likely low 20s, high teens. Beyond that, high pressure stays around, looks pretty decent, and yeah, dry and generally warm. If we do have a look at these upper air temperatures, again at 850 HPA, you can see pretty warm at the moment, or around to above average, and we can stay in around average, maybe some cooler air masses coming in, especially further north to westwards. But as we head towards the weekend, high pressure builds in initially in average sort of air mass, but then we start to drag up warm air, hot air from the south, that 15 degree isotherm across parts of France and 10 degrees widely across southern parts of England towards the start of next week. That's where we could see really warm conditions. But we do start to drag in some cooler air from the east, and you can see a little bit chillier towards freezing at 850 HPA. As we see with the ensembles towards the end of the video, this run is an outlier with this chillier easterly. So that's why I'm not putting too much weight in it, not really talking about it too much, as it is an outlier. Beyond that though, we see warm air wrap around, and we just stay generally around or above average, really quite decent. Now if I do run it back and I look at the temperature deviation just quickly, you can see towards the middle to end of this week, we're in the blues. We're chillier than average in terms of upper air conditions. Towards the surface though, it won't feel too bad, as it's not particularly cold, but maybe should feel a little bit chillier, especially further northwards and westwards, under cloud and showers. But as we head towards the weekend, as I said, initially only a couple of degrees above average, and then we turn much warmer, towards 4 to 6, maybe even 8 degrees above above average at times, before we see a brief chillier air mass before that warm air wraps back around, and we stay pretty warm above average for the end of the run. So we have a look at how the GM compares. Again, high pressure building in, but low pressure pushing out of the way over the next couple of days, and we stay in a low pressure flow all the way until Saturday time, Sunday time. High pressure building in, and we see quite a warm southeasterly wind. Now, GM doing something interesting, digging in that low pressure more. So although it will be warm, it will drag in warmer, hotter air masses with low pressure nearby. This could be a recipe for major thunderstorms. So that is something we do need to keep an eye on. Now, we're not seeing it much from other runs, but considering both the GFS and the GM are moving this high pressure slightly further northwards, influencing more of an easterly wind and little cut-off lows, this could be something we do need to keep an eye on. If you do have a look at those upper air temperatures, you can see they're not too cold at all. They're pretty warm indeed, and that would fuel these storms and showers. And you can see they're slightly above average temperature contrast. That could, make things, even though it's warm, maybe a little bit more unsettled with persistent rain perhaps, and, as I said, heavy showers and thunderstorms. So something to keep an eye on. If we do look at the ECMWF, again, this is probably one of the most highly regarded models, or the most highly regarded models. So it'd be interesting what this shows. You can see high pressure being pushed out of the way by low pressure over the coming days. Then that high pressure returning, building northwards towards the end of the weekend and start of next week, and pulling up a balmy south to southeasterly wind. Look at that 850 HPA temperature, widely above the 10 degree isotherm, 15 degree isotherm coming through, and look at the temperature deviation, 8 to 10 degrees, if not 12 degrees above average. Very, very warm indeed. Very similar to the run we even saw yesterday, almost exactly the same in terms of going very hot at that day 7 to day 10 time frame. So consistency is good there. And again, it's not yesterday's run. You can see in the top left, this is the run from earlier today. And if we have a look at the United Kingdom, look, you can see once again 10 to 12 degrees above average in a few spots. And if we do just have a look at that 2 meter temperature from that, if we do run out to those last few days, you can see by next Sunday, potentially, because this is running in 6 hour intervals, we can't see the peak temperatures in the day, so maybe add a degree or two to these. Usually by midday on Sunday, widely 20 degrees or 19, 20 degrees. So by sort of 3 p.m, 4 p.m, peak of the day, most likely 22, 23, 24 degrees. We run through to Monday, you can see widely 20 to 23 degrees, most likely you get up to 25 degrees for the high, and you head towards next Tuesday, 26, 27 degrees by midday in some areas, widely low to mid-20s. And again, that would challenge 28 to 29 degrees once we get to 3, 4 p.m. at the peak temperature of the day. So very interesting from the ECMWF. Within the next 7 days, this run is showing us hotting up significantly towards next weekend, only in 5 days' time. So if this does firm up in the next day or two, into the sort of shorter range, we start to see it come into the UK Met Office run, we're going to be into a very interesting next weekend where it could really get quite warm, if not hot, for quite a few. Now, if we do finish the video by having a look at the ensembles, you can see this really well reflected. Warmer conditions coming up over the next day or two. That's why we're still going to see warmer conditions in the southeast, but cooler air masses for a few days towards the middle of this week. Slightly below average, actually. As I said, we saw those blues on the temperature deviation charts, but it turns significantly above average in around a week's time. As I said, towards the weekend and start of next week, well above average, around that 15th, 16th of May, March. Some going earlier, that would include the ECMWF Ensemble members, some taking a little bit more time, and all runs pretty much well above average in around that 15th of May, all the way to the end of the run, or to the end of the ensemble chart. As I said, you can see that operational run, the thicker green line there, the coldest run in around the 20th to 22nd of May, and it's because that easterly wind, and that's why I say it's a big outlier. You can see this big dip here that none of the other ensemble members are going for. So again, I think that is a major outlier. And you can see it's generally dry, so the GM showing those low pressure systems coming in with heavy showers and thunderstorms, perhaps again, is another outlier. If we do look at the 2-meter temperatures just briefly, you can see again, longer term, low to mid 20s, and again you have to add a few degrees onto this because it is a low resolution. If we do have a look at the ECMWF Ensembles, you can see once again, very warm indeed. Warm at the moment over the coming days, and then we do see temperatures cool down to around or slightly below average, and then return well above average around that 14th, 15th of May mark. And you can see it is hot, a good 5+ degrees above average, if not 6 or 7 degrees above average. And you can see the operational run there. Yes, it was very hot, but it's by no means an outlier. Got its control run with it, and plenty of the ensemble members. Very few even around or below average. Yes, more precipitation signal, but that's because we've got 50 ensemble members. There's going to be a bit more deviation. There's going to be more precipitation spikes that we have to take into account. If we look at the sea level pressure, you can see high pressure in the longer term, not massively crazy high pressure, because of course we are going to be on its western flank, so pulling up southerly winds. So yes, could be some storms and showers mixing in, but it generally will be hot and dry. And look at the 2-meter temperatures just to finish up. You can see into next weekend and the start of the next week, getting up towards high teens, low 20s for the ensembles, so probably a few degrees warmer, and the ensembles getting towards 23, 24 degrees widely next working week, which also in around a week's time, which would be more likely 27, 28 degree highs. Maybe if we get the exact right conditions, we could get close to 30 degrees. So it is still looking very warm, if not hot, starting to now drift into the mid-range to shorter range. The next 5 to 7 days, we're starting to see this high pressure build in. So over the next day or two, consistency will build. We'll have a firmer idea exactly how this is going to play out, because so far it has been within that sort of 10 to 14 day time frame, but it now really is coming into the shorter range. It's coming into that 5 to 7 day time frame where we are starting to look at details. Over the next couple of days, we're more likely to see these very warm runs come into the operational runs, and they're going to firm up, and they're going to have some more consistency, and we'll really be able to say whether it's going to be low to mid 20s or high 20s, maybe 30 degrees. It could be anywhere in that range at this stage, depending on cloud amounts, exact air masses, of course. So we're going to be having a very detailed look over the coming days, so make sure you do stay tuned, because we could see, as I said, low 20s towards the weekend, warm but nothing exceptional, or we could see something really quite hot indeed. But at this stage, only that sort of pressure pattern with high pressure building up from the south with a generally warmer than average air mass is the only certainty we do have. The extent is still yet to be determined exactly. So anyway, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you again for another video soon.